Power Rangers Battle for the Grid is a great example of how far rock-solid mechanics and strong characters can take a fighting game, even when everything else is working against it. From ugly graphics to poor sound design to substantial bugs that make online play a crapshoot, it has all the makings of a disaster. But against all odds, underneath all of that beats the heart of a fighting system developed with thought, care, and an obvious love for 2D tag fighting games. Battle for the Grid is an accessible 3-on-3 tag fighter with a 4-button combat system much like Dragon Ball FighterZ. Every move is performable by pressing a direction and a button. It has a huge focus on fundamentals, which is great because the simplicity of the combat system is complemented by much more complex tag mechanics and a wild array of special moves that will have skilled players mixing opponents up like batter. Much of the depth comes from push blocks, armored EX moves, super moves, and a big, satisfying comeback mechanic in the form of a one-time use ultra attack that succeeds as a way to turn the tide of a losing battle in your favor without feeling like a cheap win button. Like in BlazBlue cross tag battle, you can call in an assist to have them do an attack, but then you also have the option to take control of the assist and tag the other character out, allowing you to convert combos off throws and continue combos with assists in fun and interesting ways. While there are only 9 characters in Battle for the Grid, which is a paltry number by any measure, they are at least all extremely well defined and fun to play. Most typical fighting game archetypes are covered, from hyper rushdown focused characters, big slow bruisers, zoners, and mid-range powerhouses. The main issue with Battle for the Grid is that everything else is lacking. It's visually bland, there's virtually no voice acting outside the announcer. The music is generic soft rock that quickly becomes repetitive because there are only 5 themes across 5 stages. Arcade mode is a bust with virtually no story and poor AI. Training mode lacks the basic function of being able to record and playback moves. There are plenty of graphical and sound bugs, and there's no option to rematch in online play. To be fair, Battle for the Grid is a $20 game, and the content offered certainly matches up with its price. Battle for the Grid will ultimately live or die based on the community that develops around it. Online play has been mostly solid on wired Ethernet, but playing wirelessly on the Switch had frequent drops in connection and otherwise laggy play, so I'd recommend avoiding Wi-Fi if possible. There also seem to be some substantial bugs that are exclusive to online play relating to blocking. In several matches, I experienced issues with consistently getting hit by lows despite doing nothing but holding crouch block, and also getting hit by normal jump-ins despite doing nothing but holding standing block. And hopefully they are able to fix it, because it really hurts the online experience. There are some surprisingly good fighting game mechanics in Power Rangers Battle for the Grid, but there's very little meat on that skeleton. A well-rounded roster of fun, nostalgic characters is represented poorly by dated graphics, slapdash presentation, and, most damningly, a lack of meaningful single-player content, other modes, characters, and stages. It's a solid start for developer NOA's first foray into the fighting game genre, but there's a long way to go to make Power Rangers a contender in a space that's become crowded with high-quality games at the same budget price. For more fighting games, check out my reviews of Dragon Ball FighterZ and BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle. And for everything else, keep it here on IGN.